Oh, it is getting nippy outside. Good job starting a fire. This is a nice scene to come home to. Oh, a towel. Thank you. Yeah. Well, it wasn't too bad. It hasn't picked up entirely yet. The storm isn't fully here. But I did get sort of soaked between work in the car and then the car in here. Hey, would you brush my hair? Here you go. Thank you. That feels nice. Oh, yeah, some tangles at the end. Start at the bottom and work your way up. Sounds like the storm's starting to come in faster now. Well, if the wind takes the power out, at least we have the fire going already. We can roast hot dogs over the fire if we have to. It'll be like camping inside. It's a nice night for cozying up under a blanket. Maybe we can read to each other. I'd like that. Thanks. Oh, there we go. It is getting loud, isn't it? Oh, you don't look very comfortable. Are you okay? No, I saw you flinch. I didn't realize that you don't like thunder. Or is it just the entire storm you don't like? Oh, come on. We don't have to play that game, do we? I mean, everybody has something that sketches them out. Everybody has something that makes them twitchy. For me, it's frogs. It makes no sense, but there you have it. No, for real. Especially toads. Toads are horrifying to me. Okay, you know how punctual I am. I hate being late. If I am on time, I feel like I'm late. I was once late to work because there was a frog between me and the office door. And my cell phone was out of a charge. I had to go down to the gas station and ask them if I could use their phone so that I could call the office to tell them to open the door and chase the frog away. It was that bad. I'm not messing around with frogs. Well, I know they're harmless. It doesn't matter that they're harmless. They're still... Okay, any other animal... If you see where its head is pointing, you know where it's going, right? It'll turn its head before it moves. With frogs, they could be facing one way and they'll like jump straight back at you. They're weird, they're freaks, they're horrifying. Also, when I was a kid, some older boys told me that if you touched them, they could burn your skin. And I didn't understand how that could happen, but I had horrifying images of it. And yeah, a little misinformation goes a long way in the psyche. I still can't stand frogs. So, storms at least can take out trees and mess with your day. Oh, that wasn't a better way to phrase it, was it? No, not when you're already anxious about the storm. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to make you feel better about being anxious about them, not feel more anxious. No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at my own inability to be comforting, is what I'm laughing at. I am. But we both know that the worst thing this storm is going to do is maybe knock down a tree or two. If it's old, if it isn't in good condition. And we've got very good trees around our house, so we're going to be safe. It'll sound rough. This old house will shake a little bit, but that's okay. It shakes because it can. Well, I mean, if it didn't shake, if it didn't have a little wiggle room, that's when it would be damaged. Things that aren't flexible break. So, the shaking is kind of a good thing, even if it doesn't feel like it. Oh dear. There goes the power. Well, it's a good thing you lit that fire. We'll be good and warm, and we'll have warm food to eat. Not very healthy food, but needs must when the devil drives, right? It's a good excuse to eat nothing but hot dogs. It's also a good excuse not to get on the treadmill because it needs power. It's a good excuse to huddle under the blankets and just read by the firelight and ruin our eyes, or cuddle and talk. There are all kinds of things that are pleasant about a storm, even when the power goes out. Especially when the power goes out. Yeah. You know, I used to be afraid of storms too. I remember when I was little, I heard on the news something about flooding expected, and my little 6-year-old brain had no other frame of reference for floods except for Noah and the Ark. I was so worried, and then came my bedtime, and I didn't want to go to bed because I was afraid I was going to go to sleep and the waters would rise. And my brother told me, yeah, that one, the one with the questionable sense of humor. He told me to go to bed, and when the flood got high enough, he would come upstairs, and we would go out on the roof to wait for the boats to come to rescue us. I was afraid of every sun shower for the next 6 years at least. Yes. He would still do it if he could get away with it. How'd I get over it? I don't know. I suppose I ended up moving south in middle school, and there were just a lot of storms. I got used to them. It's like anything. The more you know about something, the less scary it usually is. I'm sorry, I don't mean to imply that you don't know about storms. I know you know about storms. I'm just saying, knowing your head and experiencing it regularly, frequently, it's different. I lived in a place that got thunderstorms like 80 or 90 days of the year. You get to really know that they're pretty safe. So long as you're not doing something silly like running around with a lightning rod in your hand. Well, no, nobody specifically did that. But we did have a lot of golfers in the area. So, kinda. Even then, though, I mean, there are millions of storms every year. And almost all of them will be too unnoteworthy for you to hear about. But we do hear about the ones that damage buildings or people get hurt in. So it makes it seem like it's more dangerous than it is. Plus, it's loud. There's surprising noises. It shakes the house. It's reasonable that it feels threatening. But once you get to really know how many of them are just a lot of hot air and loud noises, they become no more threatening than the old man down the street shaking his fist, telling you kids to stay off of his yard. Did you hear that? It's getting pretty far away. Sounds like the storm is going to pass us for the most part. We'll get the rain at the edges and a little bit of the wind, but the bulk of it is going to skip past us. Soon enough, you won't be able to hear it over the sound of the fireplace. And there's a text message saying that the power is out, as if we didn't know. Oh. But they expect it to be back up no later than 4 hours from now. Just enough time to roast some hot dogs over the fire and have a nice cuddle on the couch. Sound good? Now that is a nice thunderstorm activity. Hey, you guys, wasn't that a sweet story? I thought that was such a sweet story. I like that one. I should like that one. That was mine. It would be bad if I didn't like mine. I shouldn't be putting it out there if I don't like mine, but I like that one. Anyway. Oh, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for giving those thumbs up and for ringing those bells. You all are so good to me. And now we have the reading of the aliases. Gang is now known as I'm so grateful to the stars that died so you could shine. Oh my. Oh, Gang, that's so pretty. That's so sweet. That's so... Wait, stars dying? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Nobody saw me do that. You can't prove a thing. It's not my fault. That's the proper response. Innocence. I'm innocent. Abel is now known as forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. Lion says, Dreamy appreciates sweetness in Metallica lyrics. I did not know they were Metallica lyrics, but yes, I do. Quasi Crafter said, I can respect that. The end. I'm gonna miss I'm going to miss the history of boxing. And Duke is flustered whenever Dreamy says, honey, pet names are my weakness. Ooh, that's good to know. Sweetie pie, honey, darling, love a lump. Thank you, Duke. Swaggy. Swaggy Llama is now day 1. Dreamy has found and captured me. I'll keep you updated in this journal. Art says, diciembre ya está golpeando la puerta. I don't know what golpeando es. Pero leer la Navidad en el aire. I got that. I got the gist. December has arrived and Christmas is in the air. Well done. Bellamy has changed his name to Day 68. Prisoner of sex, I am slowly being drained of all my fluids. My captors are ravenous. I am excited for tomorrow, though. I'm beginning to feel like these should be narrated by other actors, like some Ken Burns documentary. Jack is now known as Poetry Will Resume once I hear her try to pronounce something, a really long word in what can only be Welsh because there's maybe 3 vowels in all of these letters. But I know how to Google. So, Chlan Chael Puch Gwyn Gil Go Ger a Chwen Drob Puch Llante Silio Go Go Goch. So, Jack, give me my poetry. Thank you. And of course, extra thanks to my bakers and pound cakes that I have not mentioned yet. Inline Flaws, Mr. Rickles, Anand, The Dark Moon, Goose, In a Sea of 1,000 Stars, You Will Always Be the One to Light My Way, Kahlua Bear, Quietly Listening, Silently Dreaming, Cody, The Evening Star, The Friends We Made Along the Way, and what do I care how much it may storm? I've got you and your stories to keep me warm. You know what I have to keep me warm, aside from having you guys in my court, which I always appreciate. The day after this video is released should be the 1-year anniversary of my first published video. So, I've decided what I'm going to do. I am going to put together the first series that I did because the very first video was the first in a 3-part series. I'm going to put that series together. I'm going to fix the audio a little bit if I can, as best I can. And then I am going to play it as a scheduled premiere and hang out with you guys in the live chat while we watch it. And I cringe at my very first recordings. Since it will be a premiere, you will get notification beforehand, and I'm also going to put notifications in my community tab so you will know when it's coming up. It'll probably be 5 p.m. Pacific on Monday, December 4th. So I will look forward to seeing you there, all of you who can make it. And all of you who can't, I will miss you. But thank you for being here today. And thank you for being here every day. I do appreciate it. I hope you will all be as good to yourselves as you are to me, and I will talk to you tomorrow.